2,4-dioxo. 2,4. So 5-methyl 2,4-dioxo means number 2 containing oxygen, number 4 containing oxygen, pyrimidine. Pyrimidine. So this is what? Thymine chemical name. What chemical name it is? 5-methyl or meth. Okay. So 5-methyl 2,4-dioxopyrimidine. This is thymine. Now come on last, that is uracil. So come on, that same thing is there. Uracil is present in where? It is present in RNA in place of thymine. Thymine present in DNA, it is present in RNA. Now this uracil chemical name is 2,4-dioxopyrimidine. It is 2,4-dioxopyrimidine. Okay, it is what? 2,4-dioxopyrimidine. So if we are giving numbering, so what will come? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2, 4. 2 is having oxygen, 4 is having oxygen. Okay. So 2,4-dioxopyrimidine, it is uracil. Okay. Now if we are coming this chemical name or structure, so you have to remember directly uracil means 2,4-dioxopyrimidine. If thymine is there, so 5-methyl 2,4-dioxopyrimidine. This is also known as 5-methyl uracil. This is another name is 5-methyl uracil. Why it is telling, you can understand that if methyl is not there, so it is uracil. So 5-methyl uracil is the name of thymine that is present in DNA. So thymine is present in DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, and it is present in uracil is present in RNA. Okay. So these structures what we seen. Okay, this you have to remember. Okay. Now if we are coming on further, so we have to see that what are the things that belongs to this. Now come on, if we are coming this nitrogen base, adenine, thymine, cytosine or guanine. Okay, so where that attached, so nitrogen base is attached to first carbon of deoxyribose sugar. Okay, what I told, nitrogen base is attached to first carbon of deoxyribose sugar. Okay, this you have to remember that nitrogen base is attached to first carbon of deoxyribose sugar, or another one, this is DNA, or ribose sugar in RNA. Okay, so this is first carbon of, now this is attached with linkage, and that linkage is known as N-glycosidic linkage. So by N-glycosidic linkage, this is important. Okay, that nitrogen base is attached with deoxyribose sugar or ribose sugar by which linkage? N-glycosidic linkage, and they are forming what? Nucleoside. So what is that? To form nucleoside. Okay. Now, when the phosphate attach, okay, when what happens? When the phosphate group attached to this nucleoside, it becomes nucleotide. Now, how that is happening? Through phosphodiester linkage. So, what I told, when a phosphate group is attached on fifth carbon of deoxyribose or ribose sugar, or what we can say, this nucleoside. Okay, so when a phosphate group is attached to nucleoside by phosphodiester linkage, phosphodiester linkage, it forms nucleotide. What they are forming? Nucleotide. So here you have to remember what? Nucleotide phosphodiester linkage. So when phosphate group is attached, which linkage is forming? Phosphodiester linkage, very important. And when nitrogen base is attached to deoxyribose sugar or ribose sugar, that is N-glycosidic linkage. These two you have to remember. First is N-glycosidic linkage and next is phosphodiester linkage. Okay. Now, if we are telling that what is, if they are having what, they are connected with, just for example, many nucleotide are there. Okay, so they are connected with okay. Here what I told, that bases are connected, that nitrogenous bases that connected by what? N-glycosidic linkage, and phosphate group is having fifth carbon. So this is connected with fifth carbon, which is there, fifth carbon. It is 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay. Now here nitrogenous bases. Okay. Now, so one is connected through N-glycosidic linkage and one is connected through phosphodiester linkage. Okay. Now, if we are telling what is the backbone, means they are forming, what is the backbone of polynucleotide chain? So that is what? Sugar and phosphate. So come on that. The backbone of polynucleotide is what? Sugar and phosphate. This is the medical question. The backbone of polynucleotide is what? That is sugar and phosphate. Very, very important. Okay. Now, here what happens? The polymer, because DNA is what? Polymer of polynucleotide chain. Okay. So here what happens? This is telling that DNA, if they are having a number of nucleotides present, that constitute the organism different base pair. Okay. Now, if we are coming on that this DNA synthesis mechanism given by, so which scientist has given that one? So that scientists were there, Watson and Crick. So Watson and Crick doing what? Proposed double helix model of DNA, what we have seen. So Watson and Crick proposed double helix model of DNA. Okay, and since he proposed that one, he also awarded Nobel Prize. Okay, now one more scientist were there. That name was Wilkins and Franklin. That shown this by X-ray crystallography or diffraction data. So Wilkins and Franklin shown double helix model of DNA by X-ray diffraction data. Okay, hence Watson, Crick, and Wilkins combinedly got Nobel Prize for double helix model of DNA. Okay, what are the scientists were there? Watson, Crick, and Wilkins combinedly got Nobel Prize for double helix model of DNA. Okay, now this X-ray diffraction that given by, mostly it was discovered by Astbury, and he told that DNA is polynucleotide. So what I told, this X-ray diffraction analysis what showing? X-ray diffraction analysis shows that DNA is long polymer of nucleotide by which scientist? Astbury. Okay, it is shown by Astbury, and also suggests that nuclei in a nucleotide occur at interval of 3.4 angstrom. It also shows nucleotide occurs at the interval of 3.4 angstrom. Okay, that is 3.4 angstrom. And one more scientist came, Rosalind Franklin, in 1953. He improved this sample of X-ray data and purified DNA double helix. And what he given? He told that this DNA contained some rule, and that rule followed by Chargaff. So next came what? Chargaff rule. We will see that what is Chargaff's rule. Now, this Chargaff rule is applicable to only double-stranded DNA, not applicable for single-stranded DNA. So what I told, this is only applicable to double stranded DNA and not applicable to single stranded DNA. Okay, this is very important, that Chargaff rule not applicable to single stranded DNA, only applicable to double stranded DNA. Okay, now here what are the characteristics features that came in this Chargaff rule that we have to see. So what are the rules that came in this Chargaff rule? First is the adenine and thymine, also guanine and cytosine, their percentage are equal. So what are the Chargaff rule? First says the percentage of adenine equal to thymine and the percentage of guanine equal to cytosine. Okay, this is the first one. Now another one is what they told, the percentage of adenine plus guanine, that is purine. So next we have to come the percentage of adenine plus guanine, that is purine, equal to 50% and the percentage of cytosine plus thymine equal to 50%. This is pyrimidine. So what we can say? Thus, the percentage of purine is equal to the percentage of pyrimidine. Many numerical questions are coming on the basis of this. Okay, so what we seen, the first we seen adenine equal to thymine, guanine equal to cytosine. Next what we seen, next we seen adenine plus guanine, that is purine, equal to 50% and cytosine plus thymine equal to 50%, that is pyrimidine. Okay, now next is what, the amount of adenine, thymine, guanine and cytosine in DNA varies from species to species. So what I told, the amount of adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine are varies in DNA from species to species. They are varying amount of adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, that are what happens, varying. Okay, another one is what, the amount of adenine equal to thymine and the amount of guanine equal to cytosine always constant in each species. What I told, the amount of adenine equal to thymine and guanine equal to cytosine is constant in each species. What I told, amount of adenine and thymine, that is equal, guanine and cytosine, that is also equal. This is constant in each species. Okay, so and another one what it is telling, that purine always pair with pyrimidine. What I told, and that is always having opposite in nature. Okay, what I told, this purine always opposite to pyrimidine. Okay, this purine always having what? Opposite to pyrimidine. So purine always opposite to pyrimidine. Okay, and they contain dipole interaction and hydrophobic in nature. What I told? They contain dipole interaction and hydrophobic means they are hating water, hydrophobic in nature. Okay, so these are the features of what? DNA. What we seen, this DNA is a dextrorotatory means they are having a right handed in nature. Dextrorotatory means right handed in nature. Okay, we also seen that this DNA having negatively charged due to presence of phosphoric acid. So come on that, we will see that this double helix model of DNA, how they are showing that. If we are saying this one, okay, so what we are saying, something is there grooving. This is known as minor groove. That is 12 degree. This is, you are seeing, this is what? Major groove. This is 22 degree. Now, this DNA, what we are seeing, it is a Watson and Crick DNA, that is a B DNA. Okay, because all the experiment done by Watson and Crick, that was on B DNA. Okay, now this is what I told, this one, sugar phosphate backbone, sugar phosphate, sugar phosphate, sugar phosphate, sugar phosphate, sugar phosphate, sugar phosphate is what? Their backbone. Sugar phosphate. Now, so outside is what? Outside is sugar phosphate. Outside is sugar phosphate as backbone. Now, inside they are having, now from one turn to the next turn, okay, it is having what? One base pair. So it is just for, this is one base pair. Okay, now this one base pair, sorry, this is one turn, and the distance between these pairs is known as one base pair. Okay, now if we are saying this, one turn contain 10 base pair, and one base pair is equal to 3.4 angstrom or 0.34 nanometer. Here 10 means 10 into 3.4, angstrom. So it is will become 34 angstrom or 3.4 nanometer. Now these two having their diameter. So their diameter is 20 angstrom. Okay. Here what are the things we seen? Minor groove contain 12 degree. Major groove contain 22 degree. One turn contain 10 base pair. We will see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is having 10 base pair. One base pair contain 3.4 angstrom or equal to 0.34 nanometer. Here 34 angstrom because one turn is there, 34 angstrom here. The inside this we have to come outside what we seen, sugar phosphate backbone as backbone, inside nitrogen bases. Nitrogen bases. Now if here adenine is there, so in that side thymine will come. Here cytosine, so here guanine, thymine, adenine, guanine, cytosine. So like that it will come adenine, thymine, thymine, adenine, guanine, cytosine, cytosine, guanine, adenine, thymine. So like that it is coming. Now here what happens? These nitrogenous bases attached with hydrogen bond. Okay. Now here we can see what I told here. Adenine pairs with thymine by two hydrogen bonds. Okay. Guanine pairs with cytosine by three hydrogen bonds. Now, if we are seeing this, which one will be more stable? That contained guanine and cytosine. So, this is more strength. Okay, this is less because only two hydrogen bonds are there, so we can break easily compared to this three hydrogen bond. Okay, now this is very important. Adenine always pairs with thymine by two hydrogen bond. Guanine always pairs with cytosine by how much? Three hydrogen bonds. Okay, this is what double helix. This is the figure of double helix model of, this is a BDNA. BDNA given by Watson and Crick. So that's why it is also known as Watson and Crick model of DNA. So which DNA we are discussing? BDNA. Now many forms of DNA also present. Okay, their diameter what we seen 20 angstrom or what we can say it is 2 nanometer. Okay, so diameter come on there, diameter is 20 angstrom or 2 nanometer. What is one base pair distance? 3.4 angstrom or 0.34 nanometer. What the one turn distance? So one turn is equal to 10 base pair or what we can say 10 into 3.4 angstrom or what we can say 34 angstrom or 3.4 nanometer. Okay. Minor groove contains 12 degree, major groove contains 22 degree. Now this minor and major group helps in what? Recognition of protein site, so that DNA helps in what? Replication. It also help in what? Transcription. We will see that what are the things are there. So before going into that, we have to see that what are the other forms of DNA. Okay, so come on that. What are the other forms of DNA? This is the double helix model of DNA. Other forms of DNA. Okay, now these other forms of DNA contained, first it was bDNA, then it came aDNA, cDNA, ddNA, zDNA. Okay, now these are interconvertible forms of bDNA. Okay, because most of the stable DNA is what? bDNA. Now, under very high humidity, relative humidity, what happens? This bDNA is changed their forms. Okay, so that we have to see what are the things are there. So, other forms of DNA, under that we will see first type of DNA. First, we will see type of DNA. Then we will see what are the helix sense, then helix diameter, then what the base pair pattern. So come on that. First, helix sense. First helix sense, then helix diameter. Helix diameter we will see in angstrom formation. Okay, and next is base pair per turn. Base pair per turn. Okay, now this table is very important. I have seen many times the questions. Come on, first DNA. What DNA is there? aDNA. Now aDNA is helix, means they are showing right handed, they are moving what? Right handed type. So come on, this helix sense is right handed. Okay, aDNA having what helix sense? Right handed, and they contain a diameter 25.5 angstrom. 25.5 angstrom, and base pair per turn they contain 11. bDNA what we seen? 10. Now come on, bDNA, this is aDNA. Come on, next type, that is bDNA. That most of the experiment done on this. Why? Because it is the stable DNA. So bDNA also having sense right handed. This is also having right handed. We seen what is the helix diameter. We seen that is 20 angstrom, and base pair per turn, how much that we seen? This is 10 base pair per turn. Then came cDNA. cDNA. Now, this cDNA also having a right-handed helix. So it is right-handed helix. Now, what is the diameter of this? So that contain 19 angstrom. This is having 19 angstrom, and their base pair per turn is 9.33. Okay, 9.33 having base pair per turn. Now, after cDNA, next is a ddNA. ddNA. Now, this is also right-handed sense. Right-handed sense. If we are saying their helix diameter, so that is not having any perfect. Okay, means there varies. That's why it is not showing. That is varies. And if we are coming on base pair per turn, so that is 8. Okay, same. Last is a zDNA. That is a different from these DNA. It is left-handed. That is very important. Many times these questions came. Which DNA contained helix sense left-handed? So that is left-handed what? zDNA. Now this zDNA which is left-handed contain 18.4 angstrom as helix diameter, and their base pair per turn is 12. Okay, so these mainly these 5 types of DNA discovered, that is the what? Other forms of bDNA under which conditions? Maybe very high humidity, maybe very high temperature. Okay, so what happens? under X-ray crystallography, X-ray crystallography, bDNA changes their form into another DNA like aDNA, cDNA, ddNA, okay, like aDNA under high humidity, high temperature, low pH, like that. So what I have to say, this bDNA under different circumstances changes into another form of DNA like aDNA, ddNA, okay. Now next is there two terms came, denaturation and renaturation. So what do you mean by denaturation and what do you mean by renaturation? We have to see.